Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Babagagede Imo TV. I am Morire Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines. Buhari's administration worst ever in Nigeria, CLO. Governor Lalong begs workers to shelve warning strike. We arrested 79 kidnappers, settled 63 farmers' herders clashes. Tension as gunmen invade Abakaliki. Man stops VIO officers for driving without seat belts. I see strange beings that turn to goats and starts biting me. An actor. That's from the entertainment gist. And to foreign. Guinea ex-dictator denies role at 2009 massacre trial. And lastly on sports, not juju, our coaches worked against themselves. To the story in full. The Civil Liberties Organization, CLO Southeast Zone, has passed a damning verdict on the present administration led by General Muhammadu Buhari retired, describing it as the worst democratic administration Nigeria has ever had. The civil rights group arrived at its conclusion on Saturday as it marked the 2022 World Human Rights Day. The group's chairman, Comrade Aloysius Atta, who signed a statement, noted that after a careful study of the state of the nation, presently and a review of past administrations since Nigeria's independence from the colonial rule in 1960, and in present civilization dispensation, which started on May 29, 1999, the Buhari administration emerged the worst in terms of fulfilling the primary purpose of government. Among these, Atta said, was the promotion of the welfare and security of its citizens are enshrined in Chapter 2, Section 14, Bracket 2, Bracket B of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The group further said that Buhari administration, at the verge of completing its second term of office in years, failed in all indices of development and governance to the extent that the obscene state of nature, where life is short, brutish and nasty, has become a subtle way to describe the horrible state of affairs and the living condition of the masses in Nigeria presently. Moving to the next story. The Plateau government has urged the organized labor in the state to shelve its proposed warning strike schedule to commence on Monday. On Thursday, the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, JNPSNC, issued a notice of a 5-day sit-at-home strike to workers in the state. The group is complaining about irregularities in the computation of salaries and payments. In a statement on Monday, Plateau's head of civil service, Sunday Ayat, said the Plateau government was making effort to settle outstanding salaries. The state government has remained committed to the welfare of civil servants as demonstrated in the prompt payment of salaries over the years, the top civil servants stated. In view of the recent shortfall in the federal allocation experience across the country, which resulted in a recent delay of payment of salaries, the state government has been engaging labor and making effort to settle the outstanding arrears. Moving on to Ondo States. I beg your pardon, Ekiti. The commander, Ekiti State Amotekun Corps, retired Brigadier General Joe Komolafe, said on Saturday that the Corps in different southwest states had achieved a lot in quelling crime in their domains in the zone. The Ekiti Amotekun commander, who spoke in Ado Ekiti while playing host to the Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ Zone B, said although the Corps in the state had achieved a lot since establishment, it still needed to overcome some challenges for enhanced operations. Komolafe said, since I assumed office, we have arrested 79 kidnappers and handed them over to the police for prosecution. We have also successfully settled 63 cases of farmers' herders clashes. We came in at a time the Southwest Zone was battling insecurity, but with much effort and commitment, we have been able to bring the situation under control. He said apart from kidnappers, the Corps had also arrested armed robbers, ritualists, rapists, human traffickers, and other criminals. The Amotekun boss, who called on residents of the state to give necessary information to the Corps to ensure arrest of criminals and prevent commission of crimes. However, said the security body needed additional operational vehicles, offices, and personnel. Moving to the next story. Abakaliki, the capital of Ebonyi State, has been attacked by armed men who are firing randomly and forcing locals to flee for their lives. The incident caused a ruckus scenario in the city, forcing merchants to close their stores and go home. Others sought shelter in hotels and other buildings they could find out of threat of coming across the gunmen. According to unconfirmed accounts, the gunmen destroyed a portion of the Aham of Market, which is situated alongside the Abakaliki-Enugu Expressway. He had to rush into a hotel to seek safety, according to a person who asked to remain anonymous. I'm currently seeking refuge at a hotel. When I noticed people rushing, I went to get a recharge card across the government building. People hurriedly packed their teams inside their shops, while traffic policemen on duty opposite government house immediately changed their clothes. Moving on to the next story. An unidentified man has slammed VIO officers for driving without seat belts. He accused the officers of breaking the laws and arresting Nigerians that drive without seat belts and trying to defend themselves. The officers claim to be on duty. VIO, which is a government agency, means vehicle inspection officers are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that only roadworthy vehicles are allowed on the road. They are known for imposing punishment and impounding of vehicles of alleged traffic offenders, which they are doing. Moving on to entertainment gists. Veteran Nollywood actor Adewale Alebioshu, who is popular for playing Babalawo or native doctor in Yoruba movies, has revealed how reciting some incantations in movies arrested and affected his life. Information says that the actor, while speaking to BBC in an interview, said he never knew that there was and there were so many repercussions for the incantations he usually delivered during acting. According to Adewale, he sees some strange beings that would turn into goats and start biting him at night after acting in movies. Alebioshu warned that the upcoming Nollywood stars who want to play the role of Ifa priest or Babalawo should be very careful so that they don't end up miserably. Moving to the foreign story for today. Guinea's former dictator Musa Dadis Camara denied responsibility when he took the stand Monday at the trial of officials implicated in 2009 massacre. Camara and other 10 former military and government officials are accused of killing of 156 people and rape of at least 109 women by pro-junta forces at a political rally in Conakry Stadium in September 2009. They face charges ranging from murder to sexual violence, kidnappings, arson, and looting. Camara himself is charged with personal criminal responsibility and command responsibility. Presiding Judge Ibrahim Sori Tokora reminded Camara of the charges the court had brought against him. And to the question to know whether you recognize them, you replied in negative, Tokora said. Absolutely, Camara replied before launching into a long monologue evoking philosophers Heraclitus and Immanuel Kant along with the Egyptian pharaohs. Camara's deposition was a key moment survivors and relatives of the victims had been waiting for at the trial that opened September 28, 13 years to the day after the massacre. Moving on to the last story from sports. The reason behind the failure of the senior national team of Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar has dominated discussion as the tournament reaches the semi-final stage, where Morocco are the only African team in the last four. Morocco made history by making it to the last four owing to a 1-0 win over Portugal in quarter-final, and they will face France in the last four after their 2-1 win over England. The performance of the Atlas Lions has no doubt provoked discussions about the Super Eagles. Recently, a senior player in the team, Leon Balogun, talked about voodoo as probably the reason why they failed to beat Ghana in the playoff, but rather a player in the team said it's far from it. He instead said the problem was the internal fighting among coaches. Nigeria went into the two-legged playoff game with Austin Eguavon as interim technical advisor, with Emmanuel Amonike appointed as head coach to help the crew after their round of 16 exit at the Africa Cup of Nations. That ends the world news this hour from BGI TV. Before we go, some major headlines. Buhari's administration worst ever in Nigeria history, CLO. Governor Lalong begs workers to shelve warning strike. We also brought to you, we arrested 79 kidnappers, settled 63 farmers' herders clash. And on sports, Not juju, our coaches worked against themselves, Super Eagles player claims. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Babagagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placement only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just tune to BGI TV. BGI TV, you're one in a million.